This month I was guided to do a different kind of a series. In metaphysics, we always talk about being personally responsible for our world. We learn about the principles and the laws, and then we go out and we try to apply them, don't we? We try to make our world more love-filled, love-based. And the one thing that we eventually come back to is our human relationships. And somehow screaming at your parents a divine law doesn't change that relationship. So I wanted for us to, during this month, I'm going to correct that. I did not want for us to do this. Spirit asked us to do this, because this is a difficult thing for us to look at. It's difficult to look at the nuts and bolts of the human existence, one with the other. So we're going to take each week and look at how these human beings come together, ideally to live a heavenly existence. So we'll start with parents today, and then Patrick has spouses next week, and children, and then our spiritual family. So you all excited? Yeah. All right. Okay. So, all right. Biologically, we know that you could not exist without a father and a mother. I mean, we sometimes walk through the world not wanting one or the other to be in our world, but the reality is you would not exist without both. And as you create children, if you choose to do that, that does not happen without both. The energy of two people coming together creates the opportunity for another spirit to come. And so I want us to keep that in mind. So we already have complexities from the get-go, do we not? We have the pattern of two beings coming together. Today I want to talk about what we believe and what we know. So I'm going to start with what we believe, metaphysically. What we believe is before you are born, you pick your life. You decide what you want to experience, what you want to learn, what you want to give to the world, and how you want to grow in your soul. So you have this master plan of the things that you want to experience, and you bring down with you free will. So it's not a little game that you come in and you know exactly everything you're going to do. You have the opportunity to play with your plan. You have the opportunity to go against your plan. You have the opportunity to stay in timeout for years in your life. And many of us have done that. I'm going to be in timeout for the next 20. You know? So as we talk about the patterns, do not hear me say you're predestined and your choices have already made. All you've said is these are the things I want to experience, so hopefully I can get a lesson, hopefully I can grow. Because I want to become more aware of who I am. And who are you? Child of God. So this is all these deep plans are going on before you're born. The second step is to pick parents. And we select people who will provide the environment that will help us. We also pick people who have the building blocks of what we need. You understand? They have the building blocks of what we're going to need in order to achieve what our soul has chosen, whether we totally resonate with them or not. These people are our benefactors. Okay? We pick them because they'll help us with our foundation. And you know what they say to us? They say yes. They say yes. As a matter of fact, you were on my schedule too. As a matter of fact, I was planning on you coming. There's this beautiful win-win that occurs. But we're going to talk about parents now. When we pick parents who are going to help us, there's a wide spectrum. We can pick parents who are on one end of the spectrum that we call antagonistic. And we pick them because they're going to ride us, to remind us we came to do something. And they're going to be on us and aggravate us and stir us and make us upset. So we don't go to timeout. Then we're going to pick, or we could pick the other spectrum, which is the parent that 100% supports anything you want. Whatever you want, sweetheart. You go ahead and do that. That's fine. Whatever you need, I know you're going to be fine. You see? Now, either spectrum can be challenging, can it not? We pretty much want in the middle. where we're going to get a little bit of a stir, but we're going to get that support as well. And some of us, some of our parents we see on either end from time to time. It's, again, very complex, is it not?
Yes.
But we have chosen them, and we have chosen whatever they hand to us. When you come into this baby body, when you choose that creation, that physical vehicle that is created by the mom and the dad is created in a space of love. No matter what is happening with that partnering. If they're screaming at each other, if they don't like each other, that physical vehicle could not have been created if there was not some level of love present. Because that's what creates life. Do you understand? Some level, somewhere of love had to be present for the physical vehicle to be created. And when you come into that little baby body, when you anchor into that body, and some of us do it right before we're born, some of us will claim it well beforehand, it's individual. But when you anchor in, you are coming into a space of love. And you love that mommy and that daddy, period. There's an energy of love that can never be denied and it can never go away, no matter how antagonistic or how much you want to fight them the rest of your life. That love is there. Do you all understand? Mm-hmm. So we have this great opportunity to come into this world where the vehicle we're going to inhabit was created in love. And when we inhabit it, there's this deep inner love for both creators, for the mommy and the daddy. How potential is that? How much potential lies there for us to be able to go and do what we need to do? It's wonderful, isn't it? And it's a physical thing that will not go away. They've accepted us as child, and we have accepted them as parents. Then we get born, and oh, don't they love us? They look at us and they love us, they adore us, and do we love being adored? We love being adored. Oh, thank you for loving me. This is wonderful. I didn't make a mistake at all. You're doting on me and feeding me and picking me up when I cry. And oh, I just love this. And everything is wonderful. And then, because you have come into a physical body and you have allowed yourself to have a plan, you give yourself another gift. And that is you forget the plan. Because if you knew the plan, your choices would already be made, would they not? And so you give yourself this beautiful gift to forget, and you look at this mommy and your daddy, and you say, oh, tell me how to act. How do I be a little girl in this world? And you look at mommy and daddy both, how do I be a girl? Or you go, how do I be a little boy if you're a boy? Tell me how to be a boy. I don't remember. I don't remember this place that much. And things change, you know. They do change. And so the little babies begin to pattern after the parents. I will do what you're telling me I need to do. Why? Because I don't want this love interrupted. I don't want you to interrupt all this love you're giving to me. So I will do everything you're asking me to do until I learn to speak and walk. But by that time, I've already learned what it takes to be a little girl in the world. By that time, I've already watched my dad to see what dads do in the world. You see? And I'm just like 2, maybe 3, running around. And then what I learned very quickly is, if I express who I truly am, that unconditional love may not come to me any longer. I enter the world of conditional expression, where a slap from the mommy, verbal or physical, startles me so, I realize that love, I've displeased the source of my feeding. And now I learn to behave in the way that that mommy wants me to. You understand? Everybody been there, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then we begin to move into this beautiful dance of how do I behave in order to keep love coming my way, because I am born of love, I am love, and love is my life force. And this is where we find ourselves patterned from early childhood. And you know, we do rebel against it, don't we? Little children can't understand why they're always in trouble. Because they're just being themselves. And when I used to goo, you used to love me. I'm just gooing at a higher level. Why don't you love me anymore? You know? When they're about 8 to 12, they become mirrors of the parent. They all have political views. They know nothing about politics. Ask them. They all mirror the parent. They'll speak what the parent speaks. Do you see? And then when they finally start coming into the puberty and realizing that they're unique, I don't want to be like you anymore. And then we go into the rebellion of it all. Oh, to heck with you people. Only to find we come back round and that which we rebel against persists. And the beliefs and programming and patterning is still there. How do I get love into my world? So, the one thing that we need to remember, our parents are the perfect catalyst for the manifestation of our dreams. Everything that we've wrestled with, every experience we've had with them, they are the perfect catalyst for our dreams to occur. They are perfect, and yet they are human. So I can tell you with my mom, my mother did soul rescue work all my life. That means I'm a little kid sitting in the living room, and my mom goes, "Do you see that ghost in the corner?" And I'm more clairsentient than clairvoyant, so I feel it, and oh yes, I feel that ghost. I can't see what they're wearing. She tells me everything they're wearing. And she talks to this ghost now to help it go to the other side. That's the work my mom did. My mom had her head in the ethers all the time. Was that great for me? Was that great for me for what the work I'm going to do? Absolutely. I got to be exposed to this spiritual life very, very early. And it's a part of the work that I do. Good picking, huh? My father was fiercely independent. So fiercely independent that he would go off on, he was like a maverick. I'm not quite that way, but the fierce independence, did that help me in my journey? Yes, it's very challenging to be told by Spirit to start a church of a faith that isn't accepted at that moment in time. And that was a long time ago. It's accepted now. We're totally mainstream now. Totally. But at the time we weren't. So did I need the example of my dad's energy, the fierce independence to go forward with and take no thought? Was he perfect for me? Perfect for me. And there are so many things I could cite along my journey that were the perfect things to help me and prepare me for my life. But my parents were also human, and they had their own experiences. I know that you have looked at the good they've brought to you, your parents, and I know that you've looked at the challenges that they've brought to you. And what Spirit was working with me is this. If we can look at 3 areas of how we express and heal those 3 areas only, the issues we have with our parents will melt away. Because they were on their journey. Do you hear what I'm saying? I do not know what my mom was here to do. I do not know what my dad was here to do. You do not know, even though you think you do, what your mom was here to do. You don't know what your dad was here to do. But we are so programmed so deeply, so early about these 3 things. I'd like to just look at that. The first one is safety. All unresolved issues with your parents float around one of these 3. Safety is the first one. Did you feel safe as a child? Did your parents make you safe? Do you make your children safe? Do you make yourself safe? Safety. If you do not feel safe, you probably will be hindered in your journey of fulfilling your plan. Do you understand? Unsafety, lack of safety makes you hide. Safety allows you the freedom to express. As you were walking with your mom learning how to be conditionally loved, don't you think your safety was affected? Because love is safety. If I have to do this dance to get love from my mom, then if I'm not doing that dance, I'm not safe. Do you understand how we correlate things? Safety is real important. My father was never safe his whole life. He was 6 feet at 11 years old and treated like a man. Hired out to work on farms where he didn't see his mom and dad for months because he would live in the barracks with the other workers. And he was never safe, he was always in harm's way. And his spirit, his soul, when I came in, was so safety-oriented. He worked in the safety genre, security. He was in charge of security at NASA during the moon walk in '69. He was always in security. And when I was in first, second grade, he had seminars in our living room about if there's a fire, where do you go? If there's a fire over here, which door do you go out? If there's something over here, which door do you go out? And we're teeny tiny children. And then in third grade, what is that, 8? I fired my first rifle. In fourth grade, I fired my first handgun and got my first rifle as a gift. And always see the exits of everywhere you go. Stay on the fringes of the crowds. All these things about being aware of your environment to keep you safe. Well, he was trying to heal himself. Did it make me feel safe? No. It couldn't keep me safe from my father's anger. It couldn't keep me safe from his own insecurities. I was more afraid at home than I was anywhere else. You see? All these things that we do in the outer, we have to do them within. And so safety is not, and every mom goes, oh honey, now you need to not go with strangers. We teach them all these things. That doesn't make your child safe. What makes your child safe is when you look at them and you tell them, God, your heart, energy of love, follow that always. Make wise decisions. I'm always going to be here for you. Do you see the difference? A child who knows he can make a mistake and not lose a parent, they are safe. They are safe. I want you to think just a moment about what issues of safety you were taught. Mine were very overt. You can't miss that. But some of them are very subtle. I was taught as a child, just really kind of be with that. The other issue is value. How important are you? When we're tiny babies, are we not important? We are so important because we cannot walk, talk, and feed ourselves. But when we become old enough to be in the pack, to be running around with a bunch of other kids that are our siblings, or just to even be running around in the world, it's real easy to feel as if we are no longer that joy in our parents' hearts. It's really easy not to feel valuable. If you don't feel valuable, will you give your gift to the world? The answer is no, you won't. If you're not valuable, why would you even say anything? You have no importance. What? I don't want to hear it. You have no importance. That's what you perceive from everyone. Self-value. And the reality is, once you become somewhat independent, parents tend to look at you as done. You're done. I don't need to make you feel important anymore. I don't need to make you feel valuable. My parents would give anything to anybody and take it from me to do it. That's how they were raised. That you always put everybody in the world first. It doesn't matter who it is. You put them first. So, did that help me in my journey? Sure. It absolutely did. You know what it helped me realize? I had to find a space of value. The antagonistic energy. Rallying up. But think for just a moment the message that you were given as a child of value. Most of us still have a bit of a raw spot because it isn't totally healed. The other aspect is joy. How were you taught to be joyful? How did your parents express joy? Think about it. My mom giggled like a little bitty girl. I very rarely heard it. My father laughed so big, I very rarely heard it. So my message of joy was, you need to be quiet. You're making too much noise. I was literally punished many times for laughing too loud. That's just what happens. Joy. If you are not experiencing joy, why do you even want to do the work that's before you? Boy, timeout looks great. I am on my timeout now. And I'm going to stay there till I find something I can be happy about. Our parents did not knowingly squelch our safety, our joy, or our value. But I'm here to tell you, they absolutely played into the pattern that we have about it. My mother and father couldn't have silenced me if I had not already brought in with me a little bit of inhibition that no one wants to hear what I have to say. I wouldn't have had parents who made everybody else more important if somewhere along the line I had not believed I was less than someone else. All these complexities, they seem so accidental, but they all play into the growing of our journeys. And every single experience can be fertilizer for us to grow through. What helped me get really clear and forgive, because I was full of unforgiveness. I know you probably are better than that, but the only thing that put me in that space of seeing the value of my parents was when I really began to say, God is my father and my mother, and I chose this life. I am not a victim to either one of my parents. I chose it, whether I used it for good, the experience, or for temper tantruming, the experience, was my choice. But I absolutely chose this because it's the fertile ground and the foundational stones for me to become who I need to be. And with my God as my parent, am I safe? I'm absolutely safe. And I love my dad, I really do. And he went the month before he died. He came in and I gave him a Reiki. He was great. He received the Reiki energy. It was wonderful. So loving and so great. And then he stood up and he goes, now you know I'm afraid that you're not taking this life too seriously. And you need to get your guns. So he went to the other side, knowing we were going to stay in disagreement. And I was so good with that. I was so good with that, you know. The joy, the laughter, the expression. You know, God, my father, mother, God wants me to be happy, wants me to be that laughter. So typically when people say you really should tone it down a bit, no, I've done that. You know, my father, mother, God says, go ahead, girl, laugh. Giggle if you want to giggle. Say what you want to say. Typically, 20 years ago, if someone had said you might want to tone it down a little bit, who do I see talking to me? My mom and my dad. You're offending people. You need to be quiet. And value. You know why my parents could not give me value? They had no value. They didn't know who they were. They didn't know how precious they were in the heart of God. They didn't know. I think my dad does. He's on the other side now. You know, my mom's getting ready to cross. I think my mom knew more than my dad. Because she talked to all these dead people. She knew how God loves them, you know? Value. We have to give this to ourselves. And if you have children, you can't force them to feel valuable. You treat them as if they are valuable. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you, some of the greatest crying I've ever done is over myself as a mother. Feeling like I didn't do that right, or I didn't do this right. Mothers do that? Yes. And one of the greatest gifts I ever gave my son, and I was studying metaphysics at the time, it's very, very challenging when you have a little one, and he was little. And he used to stand at my knee, and he used to pull on my pants. Mommy, I'd be talking with someone. Something about something high spiritual, you know. Mommy, 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 mommy. And in return, I would go, what? The greatest gift I ever gave him was to finally realize he is as important as the person talking with me, and he is my eternal son. He is going to be with me this lifetime, and he needs something. And it was really funny, you know, the first time I went, okay, I'm really going to try to honor that child. Mommy, 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 excuse me. And I looked him straight in the face and said, what do you need, honey? He didn't say anything. He was shocked. Shocked. And he quit doing it. Unless he really needed me. So, taking those shifts, and I couldn't have given him that if I hadn't been learning to value myself. You see? And before, when he would do it and I would ignore him, who was I valuing? Whoever happened to be standing in front of me that I would see for 5 minutes in this moment and never again in another lifetime. Do you see what I'm saying? Just people coming in and out. As we begin to value self, then we can transfer the value to everyone around us. As we begin to be joyful, celebrate life, laugh crazy, do whatever you want to do in that spirit of celebration, then you can pass that on. And safety. I love one of the songs that we wrote as Grace Wing, You're a Special Blessing to Me. There's nothing you could do that would make me love you less. You are safe. You're safe. You're safe. Whether you're here, there, or there, you're safe. That's how we need to feel about ourselves as well in God's heart. No matter where we are, time out, forward motion, stalled, no matter where we are, there's nothing we could do that God would love us any less. Safety. Have y'all followed what we're talking about? Every soul has a journey. Every soul has things that they've set for themselves to do. And even though you may think one of your parents had a miserable time of it, you have no idea what they learned. You have no idea what they accomplished. We just don't know. We barely know our own journey, you know? How can we know the parental journey? But we can know one thing. We absolutely were a part of their journey because they said yes to us. And they were a part of ours because we chose them. And now it's our opportunity to create that safety space for us, that value for us, and that joy for us. And as we do that more and more, don't you think brighter and brighter children can be born? And their patterns and their journeys can be more easily achieved? All right. Well, let's take a moment just to go within and just take a breath. And I want you just to imagine a beautiful column of light coming over you. And feel the love of the universe just surrounding you. You may feel your guardian angels, your spiritual team. And for a moment, just feel that spark in your heart. The divinity that animates you, your spirit. And now, in your own heart, in your own mind, just silently say, my Father, Mother, God. My Father, Mother, God. And allow that love of your parent to move into your body. I am child of God. God is my Father, my Mother. As you feel the love, begin to open to the energy of pure peace. The peace that passes understanding. Just let it flow through your body. Peace. And as you feel the peace, become aware of the safety. There is nothing to fear. There is nothing to resist. There is nothing to hide from. I am safe. Safe in the heart of God. And as you feel that beautiful safety and peace, Become aware of the love God has for you. See the spark within your heart becoming brighter and brighter. My beloved child, in whom I am well pleased. And begin to feel the value of your presence, the value of your spirit, your soul, who you are. God loves me. My parent loves me without condition. I am valuable. And as you feel that beautiful value moving through your body, I am valuable. Feel your heart growing even bigger and feel within your wonderful heart a desire to express. And in that expression, see the beautiful light pouring from your heart, I am expressing, and feel the energy of joy. Joy comes from expressing through my heart. Joy. And let that energy move from your heart. Let it feel your auric field. Feel all up, down, all around your body. Joy. And God, thank you for this life I have. Thank you for this beautiful body that allows me to express. For the people that brought me here. For the people that I work with now. For family, friends. And feel beautiful celebration energy going out to all of your world. Work, home, all of it. And as you feel that celebration, become aware. Everyone you now touch is also a child of God. And see their heart glowing too. God, our Father, our Mother, we love you so. And we now honor the Father and the Mother that brought us to this earth. We send our joy and our gratitude to the Mother for her carrying us, to the Father for his carrying of us as well. And we are at peace. And feel the peace between you and your parents. Take a breath. And allow your focus to come back to the chair that holds you. I am child of God. I am safe. I'm valuable. And I am going to be happy. And so it is. Thank you, God. Breathe. And gently open your eyes. Well, how you feel? And no matter where your parents are, if they're in the room with you, on the other side, or across the world, they felt you just now. And they feel that peace. So we say good work. Yay, God.